Hello, I am back, Mr. Hine. This video is how to write equations of a line from a graph. So given a line visually, what's the equation of it, which you could always use to do things far outside the graph, because the graph is only a small window of what's happening when we can use the equation to get more from it. Now, we're going to do 3 problems here, write the equation of these 3 lines. And remember that a line is of the form y equals mx plus b, where whatever number this is, that number before the x, that's your slope or the rate of change. Think about it as like rise over run, maybe from a graph. And the number at the end there, without the x, that number represents the starting value when x equals 0. Also known as like the y-intercept. Okay. Now those are just words. I think it'll be easier for you if we put it into action. So if we look at this first one here, we have a line. So remember, x equals 0 is this line here. This is 0. So you always find your starting point on this line, which notice the starting value is right there, which this is 0. So from 0, it's up 2. So that's at 2. So that means that in your equation, that's your start. So it's going to be y equals something plus 2. All right, we have the starting value. Now, what's the slope here? Now, that's how it's changing from point to point. How is it changing? So if I pick these 2 points, and you always read left to right, to get from here to here, I have to go down 2, and going down is negative. And I have to go right 1, 2, 3. And going to the right is positive. So that means my slope here is negative 2 over 3. And there's the equation of the first one. Okay. So that's your starting value, and negative 2 over 3 is its slope. Okay. And notice we could have gotten that if we picked these 2 points over here from here to here, because it's a line, it's all the same. It's still down 2, right 3. It doesn't matter which points you pick, just pick 2 points. Right. Number 2, find your starting value. So x equals 0. We're right there. So there's our start, which what number is that? Well, you had to go down 1. So we're starting at negative 1. So it's going to be y equals something minus 1. And then what's the slope here? Well, if I pick these 2 points to focus on, how am I getting from here to here? Well, I have to go up 1, 2, 3, and I have to go right 1. So then my slope here is 3 over 1. That's like think about it as like you're adding 3 tiles for every one figure number. And that's the equation of this one. And you could also, if you want to simplify it, because what's 3 divided by 1? Just 3. So you could just write 3x minus 1. And don't forget, if you still like to write it the other way, that's okay too. If you want to do it negative 1 plus 3x, all is the same thing. Okay. And then this last one, just be careful, because notice how it's going down again. So we should have a negative slope because it's going downhill versus this one going uphill. But let's find the starting value. So x equals 0, the y-intercept is here, which is also at negative 1. And then the slope is it's going down 1, right 2. So then that means it's going to be negative 1 over 2, because it's going down 1, x, because it keeps doing that. It's going to keep going down 1 over 2. And then it started at negative 1. And there's the equation of that one. Again, that's your starting value, and that's its slope or its rate of change. Different ways we refer to that. Hope that helps, but that's how you look at a line and get the equation, is you find your start first, and then work from there to figure out how are the points changing, maybe doing rise over run, or I'll just stick with rise over run rather than the more difficult one. Good luck with that. I hope that helps.